this is Cinema 4D, and I will be showing the concept of using MoGraph with 2D splines. MoGraph is a very extensive set of tools actually, but I will only be showing the set of a subset of the deformation that is possible with MoGraph. So MoGraph has several effectors. In fact, they are deformers. They may act like deformers, and for instance, one of the most useful is the random. And as I place it as a child of the spline, and I set it to displace the points, it will randomize all the points of the spline. So I can choose. Let me just turn this off because I will not be using this dimension. I will only be using X and Z. So we can define how much to randomize in the X axis and in the Z axis. And of course, let me just set this to both to 20. We can define what type of noise, so random and Gaussian, and those are much smoother, like noise and turbulence. And of course we can define the scale of the noise, and this is most interesting when we just don't affect the whole shape. We can define, for instance, just a spherical, or in the case of 2D, circular area. So let me just increase the fall off, and it will only affect the places that are inside this area of influence. I will increase the size of the random effect, and let me see, I will make it affect the effector. So here it is. So the best way to achieve this, instead of just using preset areas, is that I can, for instance, I'm going to draw another curve. It will be a Bezier curve. Okay, so this curve passes along the other shape, and I'm setting this effector to affect the area only inside of or around that spline. That means that if I just move the spline around, I will get different effects. So that also means that I can affect just a little part of my original spline, and I will set this to node, and now I can adjust the scale of the noise. And of course, nothing of this is destructive because I can always turn off the random. This only affects while it's turned on. Besides random, we can, for instance, choose a plane effector. The plane, it's a very simple effector. I can make it affect, for instance, just the points. They will all move in some direction. I will turn on the fall off to a sphere, and they are being affected. Like so. I'm going to increase the fall off, so make it smoother. And let me show you another one. For instance, the target, but I will set the target to repel. So point and repel, so it repels points around. I can define the distance, how much it affects the smoothing, and of course the fall off. I can say I want also, for instance, let's say sphere, increase the fall off. So all of these deformations are parametric, so I can adjust everything, and I still have the original shape that is unchanged. So this type of conceptual deformation, it would be really useful for a 2D application. Just get this out, and as you can see, this is I still remain. Oh, another thing, the original shape is also parametric, so that means that I can also increase the number of turns or the radius, and this is always affecting the shape equally. So tell me what you think. Wouldn't this be great for Affinity Designer? Bye bye.